Hi guys, it's Shauna. So I wanted to come on today and talk to you about being an empath and how you might be feeling other people's things on a bigger level right now. I had a person contact me on my page and she had some questions about how to shield. She's an empath and she's finding that she's feeling a lot of energy. She's feeling things from on the other sides of walls. She's feeling things from people who are 10 to 15 feet away from her. So at this point, she's feeling everything, right? And it's draining her. She's just wanting to sleep a lot. And I think a lot of us are feeling that way. There's a lot of reasons, right? We've got the whole world in a panic. So, we need to do our best to help ourselves and our energy and strengthen our own resolve. I tend to not to suggest shielding necessarily. I found that that was not that helpful for me. What I found to be more helpful was to find these little practices that would strengthen my own energy, that I could keep myself and my energy field more whole and healthy. Okay, so I'm just going to share a few of those with you now. So if you're feeling other people's things and you're having a hard time right now or at any time, these are helpful little tools. And if you make these part of your life and you just regularly do this, your energy will get really strong and you will connect better in with your guidance team and you will start to kind of understand more and more about yourself. So I highly suggest them. Okay. So first, the most obvious, ground your energy. Ground your energy every morning, do a 5-minute meditation. Be sure you're good and grounded. Then throughout the day, hold the intention that you can just say, I'm grounding my energy. And then through the day, when you say that, your energy will just automatically ground. You'll regrow those roots, whatever process you're using will just run and you'll reground your energy. So if you start to feel scattered or disconnected again, boom, I'm grounding my energy. My energy is grounded. Make that statement and that process can run. Okay. One of the other things is releasing anything you're holding that doesn't belong to you. So, what I would do with that is I would say, I release any and all energy that does not belong to me, sending it back to its original source with love and gratitude. What's theirs is theirs, what's mine is mine. What's theirs is theirs, what's mine is mine. What's theirs is theirs, what's mine is mine. So I use that little what's theirs is theirs and what's mine is mine as a way to disconnect easily. It's something, it's easy for me to remember. I can say it in my head a few times and it disconnects me from whatever it is I'm wanting to disconnect from. So that's just a simple, silly little tool that I use, but I find it to be really helpful. So you can make that whole statement right now pretty regularly, and in times that you don't have time to really think about what the wording is, use what's theirs is theirs, what's mine is mine. Think about who you want to disconnect from if you know where it's coming from. What's theirs is theirs, what's mine is mine. And I'm always doing this stuff with my hands. I don't know if it matters, but make those statements and have the intention that that's working for you. Okay, and that will just solidify your energy even more. You also want to call all of your energy back to you. Now, as empaths, we tend to put feelers out and we're wide open most of the time. So when we find somebody that may be having a hard time, and we might just notice that somebody's struggling and we kind of send energy that way. We don't want to send our energy out like that. It doesn't help them as much as we would like to think it does. It really doesn't help them. We all need to hold our full plate and deal with it. That's why we have it. So we really want to disconnect ourselves from leaving our energy with others as much as possible. And I would just say, I call all of myself and my energy back to me. I am whole. Okay. Again, I call all of my energy and all of my parts back to me. I am whole. That will help. We got to have our energy field intact. Okay, we cannot be fractured out and running everywhere. It will help you. Okay, so those are the things that I would say use regularly. I also want to say that especially right now, we need to tell ourselves we're safe. We need to tell our team that we need to know they're there. We need to open to the love of the angels and the support that we do have. And I think we need to just say, I am safe. I am protected. I am safe. I am protected. Okay. I think that that is helpful sometimes. So give it a try with these other tools. Okay. And use them pretty regularly. So I said I would talk a bit about shielding as well. So I don't shield. I do use a filter. That's what I call a filter. And I don't know how you'll see it or even sense it. To me, it's very much like kind of like a window screen. It's all energetic, right? So it's light. Like I usually use golden light, but whatever color comes to your mind when you decide to try to use this is the color that you want to use. It can be white light, it can be golden light, it can be green, it can be blue, like whatever comes to you. Okay. If you feel resonant with one color over another, then that's what you want to use. Okay. So I use golden light. I work with Source, I work with golden light, I work with the angels. It's just what I do. So I imagine this filter of light. And it's usually out, beyond arm's length from me. And I will put it around me all the way around. Like, kind of like when somebody says you put yourself in a bubble of solid light. I don't want that bubble as solid light. I really want some energy movement to be happening. So I set this filter up and I use this, I use this when I feel like I'm going into a large crowded area that might be difficult for me. I have anxiety like everybody else. Or if I'm going somewhere where people kind of tend to be hostile, sometimes that's family for me. And I put these filter up. I put it out around me, out at least beyond my arm's length out, all the way around, up, all top, under the feet, everything. Okay. And I imagine this screen-like filter. Now, I just use my intuition and decide how thick I really want it. If I'm going into a hostile environment, it's going to be a pretty thick filter. Okay. If I just want to have a buffer between me and a big group of people, I put it up somewhat thin, right? So you just kind of go with your gut on that. Okay. Really tune in. Be sure that you're grounding before you're doing any of this. Okay. Ground. And I would also say open your heart to Source, to your guidance team, as well. Okay. So they can come in and help you. So this filter, my intention when I set the filter is not necessarily to protect myself. Now, I feel like if we set up protection around us, it's kind of an invitation for that lower energy to come bug us. Because they're like, oh, look, she thinks she's protected. Let's come bug her. Okay, I never found it helpful. I found that I had an awful lot of energy issues when I was trying to protect myself. So what I'm doing and my intention I hold when I put this filter up is that it is only allowing love through and anything that I absolutely need to experience for my lessons in this life, for my life path. Okay, so again, the intention is that I will only feel love or any experiences that I need to feel for my life path. Okay. Only love can come in, only love can go out. That's how it's working. It's keeping a buffer for me between my energy and other people's energy for whatever period of time I need it. I have used this between my mother and her neighbor across the street. I put a filter up and it solved all kinds of problems. It is something that you have to do regularly, but it is very helpful. Okay. I've also used it between me and some of my neighbors in the past. So it is a handy tool. What I like about it and what I felt about using a bubble of light around me to protect me was that first off, nothing came through that bubble of light except negative energy because they were like, oh, let's mess with her, right? Because it just seemed to be an invitation. That was my experience. And it also didn't let anything out. So I felt like my energy, which is pretty powerful, we're powerful beings, it was kind of bouncing back at me. Others couldn't get through, and I was feeling really alone, even in a crowd of people. And I realized that it just wasn't working for me. So my guidance team helped me understand the filter. And that's what I've been using ever since. So that would be the most shielding I do. Okay. I find that if we do the small practices to get stronger in our energy and understand how we work, to understand that everything is energy, and so every interaction with something or someone is energy altering, that if we call ourselves back and we reset ourselves, and we keep that energy strong, and our intention is that we are not sending our energy out all the time and that we're not having to feel everyone's everything, we have the right to take control of that. It's our energy. This is our gifts and our abilities and our energy. So we have the right to take control. We just have to find someone who's willing to tell us the tools that work for them. This is what I'm sharing with you. These are the things that worked for me. And I'm sure there's some more, that I have used in the past. But right now, I find this to be the most helpful. So I hope that it's helpful for you. There is also a video on my YouTube that is expanding your light to clear your energy. I would suggest that. And if you need a grounding, there is some grounding meditations, and some kind of advice about grounding on the YouTube as well. So I hope you're all well. Try to just stay present as much as possible right now. And I send love and gratitude to each of you. Goodbye.